What is up, YouTube guys? It's Kohana Gaming back again with another guide video for you all with Anthem. Today I wanted to make a really quick video giving some tips on how to sort of clean up the flight settings in Anthem with mouse and keyboard. I know that a lot of people have been complaining about it and saying that it just doesn't feel good on mouse and keyboard, and so a lot of people will just end up playing with a controller even on PC. And so I wanted to give some tips, explain the settings you can change a little bit more, and hopefully it'll help some of you out. Alright, so let's go ahead and head over to the controls on the computer. If you head over to keyboard and mouse here, you'll be able to see all the different sensitivity options that you can get. These obviously don't matter. This is just your normal old aiming sensitivity, so these can be whatever you want. I have tested out the settings on myself, and I am a low sensitivity player, so I play with my arm. I aim with my arm, so I think that these settings work really well for players that do that low sensitivity aiming, but also I've tested this out with my roommate, who is a wrist player, and he aims he has very high sensitivity, and these settings still helped him a lot as well. So feel free to try this out regardless of the type of mouse and keyboard player that you are. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and reset it to default just to show you guys, and we can move it along with you so you can see what I specifically changed. So again, just ignore these. These are what I mean, you probably have already messed with these yourself if you like changing your aiming sensitivity. But moving on to flight sensitivity, and this also works for swimming as well. The sensitivity literally just changes how quickly the dot goes away from the center. I like to lower this down a little bit. I think that with the way that I change my settings, this is really important to keep at around 25%. Just because we're going to be lowering the response and stuff like that. So I think that it's good to keep this a bit lower. 40% is the default, but it's also, it just makes it too quick. And I think that's kind of the issue that a lot of people have when they use a mouse and keyboard with flying, is that, especially swimming, you just kind of lose where you are too quickly. Because it turns too fast. So if you lower that sensitivity down to about 25%, that'll help a lot. And then I do like to keep the precision about 15% where it is on the default, because what that does is it's sort of almost like mouse acceleration, which usually isn't a good thing in a shooter. But for flying, I think it does help to have a little bit of that. So I like to keep those at the default at about 15%. And then going on to the response, this is a really, honestly, the biggest change, and it really does help a lot. I actually lower this down to 1%. You can probably put it down to 0%, to be honest, but I like to have just a teeny little bit of it. Basically, what response does is it's really weird. It moves your cursor more when you're farther out from the center, if that makes sense. So basically what that means is if you have to move quickly, you know, if you want to turn more sharp, then the sensitivity goes up, and that is also part of why you sort of lose yourself, and it's very easy to get, you know, over aim and stuff like that, and especially with swimming. So I actually lower this down all the way down to 1%, and that really helps clean up just the precision of the aiming. It makes it a lot easier to control when you're flying, and yeah, all around, it just helps a lot. So these are the settings that I use. I put these down to 25%, and I put these down to 1%. It's a lot easier to control, and it feels just more intuitive when you're flying. And honestly, I love it. Like, I love flying right now with mouse and keyboard. It just feels so good to me. But yeah, feel free to give these settings a try for yourself. See if they help. Obviously, they may not be for everybody, but they really have helped me a lot. And like I said, I also had my roommate try them out, who is a very high sensitivity player, and he said that he loved them as well. So definitely give this a try if you haven't been feeling quite right with the way that the mouse feels in Anthem with flight. So hopefully that helped some of you out. Again, thanks for watching. Love all your faces. It's a quick video today, but felt it was a necessary one. Thanks for watching again. Love your faces. Y'all are beautiful. Stay beautiful. Be beautiful.